Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Blake Sloan, one of the top real estate agents not only on the Grand Strand, but in the world. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, The Wall Street Journal, NBC, and many other publications. And now, the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. It is that time once again, the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. We'll hear from Blake coming up in mere seconds. In the meantime, write down this number, 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. That's the number for Sloan Realty Group. That's the number to get in touch with Blake when you have questions about anything that you're going to be hearing over the next 30 minutes. You can also go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. We'll repeat that contact information several times in the next 30 minutes, but let's go ahead and get the show started. Here's Blake Sloan.
Good morning, everyone. Got an awesome show. A ton of great stuff we'll talk about. The coolest part I'm most excited about, we got the brand new market numbers in from last month, and they're on fire to say the least. They're very, very good. Way better than I thought they would be. So super excited to share those with everyone, and really good news coming into the end of the year. So we'll break down those, kind of what the overall sales were, prices, all that stuff too. Also a great article that was a national article that came out. Just wanted to talk about that talks about the average amount of equity the sellers have gained in the past couple of years. It breaks down like year one, year two, year three, and some of those numbers are shocking. And so we'll break down kind of what that is and how they're seeing that nationally, which is pretty cool as well. And we also talk about, I had some stuff on last week's show I did not have time to get to. It's super important. I kind of want to talk about one was a flipper's top 10 tips to get more money for your home. And it's valuable stuff, things that we teach our sellers and clients to do all the time, but it's something I like to share a little bit. Some of it's common sense, but some of it's just super simple. You want to be able to focus on getting the highest ROI you possibly can, right? So I want to get the most return if I do anything. And many clients, we say, hey, look, we can sell it as is right now, or we can buy it out as is right now, or we can, do a few things we call gingerbreading it to get the maximum dollar for it based on strategy, right? All depends on what strategy is. You can't just throw it out there without picking the right strategy. And so that's something that we call winning before we start. And so we'll kind of dig into that as well. Also, we have some amazing success stories I'm super proud of. Our team, like I mentioned, is kicking butt all the way to the finish line. We still have one guy on our team had 4 closings in one day this week. So, I mean, we're still pushing like crazy in that. And so all the way to the finish line. We'll talk about that. And also, we have time. We're ramping up for 2020. Obviously, like I mentioned, my foot's still on that pedal to the metal, and we're looking to add a few people to our team that may be a great fit. I'll talk about what we're looking for as well.
All right, we've got a lot of stuff to get to. We're just getting started. If you're wondering who this guy is, if this is the first time you've ever heard this show on the radio, he's been called the Real Estate Whiz Kid. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, Wall Street Journal, Realtor magazine, and other national publications. On TV, he's been there as well, on NBC, and also with Fox and Friends, with the morning show. You've heard the personal endorsements on this very radio station from Sean Hannity, from Glenn Beck, Barbara Corcoran, and Gary LeVox. Put them all together, it is unprecedented. Now, we always learn a little bit about the trademark systems that Blake has for buyers and sellers, but we're not going to learn everything, and you're not going to learn everything either until you get associated with Blake, because he's just not going to spill it out there. They're trademarks. But there is one part of the systems that he will tell you about, that the most important part is one thing and one thing only.
Yes, and that's something that I made a big promise, like I said, to the calls behind this show, and really kind of what drives this show, what we do, and sharing with people, and because it's something I see in and out every single day, over and over and over, and hear horror story after horror story about how people, use XYZ agent, and they're trying to have. I just at the dentist yesterday, and a lady was talking about how they had someone move here from West Virginia, and they're freaking out because they're paying the mortgage in the house in West Virginia. The agent was a friend. The agent didn't know what they were doing, and meanwhile they're just burning through cash because the agent doesn't know what they're doing, right? And so I hear all these stories, and so it comes down like, why does that happen, right? And so it comes down to really one thing: the single most important variable that determines your failure or success as a home seller comes down to one thing only. That thing is the agent that you choose, period. And why is that? Well, the reason is it's not like it used to be in the old days, right? You used to have a friend that goes in the business. They could probably just pop an MLS. He'll go in like a book or a magazine, or back then even online and sell. But now things are so much different, right? There's so much more technology and nuances and intricacies. And so the details matter in regards to how you actually execute. And so long story short, in selling a property on the listing side, there's 118 different variables from A to Z. We know that because we identified them. Most agents have no clue what they are. They're just flying by the seat of their pants. Hey, I got a friend that has a listing, or somebody gave me a listing. We're going to do the 3 Ps, right? We promise the world to get listing. 2, we put it to the MLS. And 3, we just pray that someone else brings a buyer from a different company. And meanwhile, they spend all their time just hunting down new listings instead of servicing the one they have. That really is truly the problem with our industry. We see that over and over, right? And so Uh, the problem you have with that is how the business model is set up. You have one single agent who's trying to juggle all those balls, all 118 different variables on each and every listing, right? So you can't just survive on one listing. You have to have multiple listings to be able to survive. And so what you find is they just get lowest hanging fruit, meaning that they'll price the lowest, or what happens most of the time, like the lady from West Virginia, it just sits in the market, does not get sold. And so what we did is we identified all those variables, and then we create a system that's proven and repeatable that basically creates maximum leverage for our client at every single point. We call it stacking the dominoes, right? We create a small gap for our client at point one, another gap at point two, point three, all the way so on through 118 different variables. And so at the end, it creates a massive gap between us and everyone else. It's a proven, repeatable system that I designed. We license it to other agents in other parts of the country, but it works very, very well. We kind of, I guess, compare that to everyone who gets into a marathon, right? Take off in a marathon, shotgun start, everyone starts sprinting, but what you find happens within minutes is what happened. They spread out, right? And so sometimes people finish 2 and 3 hours ahead of time of someone else, and a lot of times people don't finish that at all. And so it's the same exact thing that happens with the marathon of your home sale, and that's why the agent you choose matters the most. The number one mistake that I see anyone make is thinking that all real estate agents are the same, right? It's just period, it is what it is. And so that's something that's important to talk about as well. And so what that system's called is the guaranteed sold system. Only proven system sells twice as fast and for up to 20% more money than traditional methods, and it works very, very well. It's proven, repeatable, right? It's not just how's the agent feeling that day. We have a team of staff that support that, technology that we built, that we invested in, that we designed to help support that, to make sure the same thing happens the same way every single time to create maximum leverage. What does that do? It gives our client a competitive advantage when they're selling. Obviously, I can't share all that in radio. We have tons of competitors try to figure it out. They submit on the website under fake names. We get all this stuff all the time, right? And so the reality is it works very, very well. Anyone we show it to, it absolutely blows their minds. We get a lot of agents from other areas that worked in real estate and they're buying here or selling here, and we show it to them. It absolutely blows their mind. And so if you want to know more, reach out, call me. On the flip side, though, guess what? It's the same exact thing for buyers out there. There's 100 plus variables when you're buying your home that make or break it, right? It's going to either make you money and get you the home or cost you money and you're going to lose out in the home. What I see happens most of the time is people actually lose out in the home. It goes to multiple offers, or they don't get it in time, or they miss out on it, or the agent did not advise them on something very costly that can hurt them on the back end. And so we create a system for buyers as well. It's usually the exact opposite, right? Because you're on the flip side of the transaction. But it's a system that's proven, repeatable, and every single one of our experts take them through that along with our staff as well. It's called the Unfair Advantage Home Buying System. Get you priority access to foreclosure, distress sales, desperate sellers, the absolute best negotiation and price. Also within the home inspection, right? What happens once you actually have a qualified vendor do the inspection for you to make sure there's no underlying issues or challenges? It could be anything from foundation issues, whatever that may be. And then negotiate that off the price to help make sure that's taken care of. And again, that's called the Unfair Advantage Home Buying System. Both those do one simple thing. They give you, the consumer, a competitive advantage when you buy or sell. And so you owe it to yourself to at least reach out and see the comparison, because you'll absolutely blow your mind. It's something that can get you some. We have people in the office this morning that met with one of our experts named Tiffany. They've been searching for the past year. They've been through 15 agents. Not one person has shown them anything like what we do. Not one person showed a plan or anything. And so you can see, obviously, it's a big difference. And that's what we asked the question. Well, what do you think the problem is? Obviously, the 15 different agents that you've been through that didn't really know what they're doing. Why? Because in our MLS, if you do the math, the average agent sells less than 4 homes a year. Right. It's just a challenge of the industry, right? You see that happen almost all across the countries. It's just the reality of what it is. And so it's hard for someone to advise you correctly if they're only selling 4 homes a year, right? It's hard for them to survive. They can't barely pay rent in that situation. Unfortunately, that hurts a lot of people when they're buying and selling their largest asset. I mean, you wouldn't go get LASIK eye surgery from a doctor who's only done 4, right? But we still will all day, every day go to some part-time agent or agent who's not sold anything and be able to let the largest asset be held in their hands to kind of really determine that destiny. And so you want to know more, reach out, give us a call, 843-808-SOLD as well.
Rick, to the front. Thank you.
We got a lot of stuff to get to. Blake was teasing you about the fact that we got the brand new market numbers in. We'll find out what those are coming up in just a minute. Mortgage rates as well. It's all on your way in just a second. Get in touch with Blake if you have any questions about anything that you're hearing. The phone number is 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD.
Hey, if you were in the market to make the most money for your home, Sean Hannity here with some important advice. Now, look, I'm an active investor. I have bought and sold a lot of properties in hot, cold, moderate markets. markets. And one of the lessons I have learned is this: hire the agent that knows how to create the most demand for your home. Now, if I needed to create demand in this market, no question, there's only one real estate agent I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group. Now, he services the entire Myrtle Beach area, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells a home on average every 24 hours. Now, that helps you generate multiple offers and sell your home for the most money possible. Plus, it's like getting an immediate offer on your home, because if your home doesn't sell for the price and the deadline you agree to, you'll have it bought for cash, and he offers flexible fees. Find out how much demand your home can command right now. Call the agent that creates the most demand. Call Blake Sloan today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or online at blakesloan.com. That's blakesloan.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Myrtle Beach, I would hire Blake Sloan. His international marketing creates so much demand that if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, Blake will buy it. Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
It is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Got the mortgage rates coming up in just a second, but Blake is really excited. He's giddy as a schoolboy. He's got the brand new market numbers around. What are things looking like there?
All right, so I was actually shocked by these. We had the brand new ones hot off the press, and it's probably going to get a little bit better. Just as you know, it gets, the final numbers usually get here by the 10th, but we're real time, and so we're kind of following this. So I had to quadruple check on myself. I know we were super busy, but sometimes you're in your bubble, you're not really sure what everything else is happening outside there. But we're constantly redlining, in what we do as a team. But so check it out. Single family resale sales last month was up 16.2%, which is huge, right? I had to go back and check it. So if you look at the difference, in November 2018, there was 395 home sales, resale homes, right? This year, 459. So huge jump there. I mean, way over double digit, which is awesome. Again, 16.2% increase in the amount of homes sold. So awesome news there as well. And you can see that's kind of a shift. And you looking at a graph here, it's significant jump from where obviously it was last year, which is great news. Into price too. Price is continually to climb. Price up 4.1%. Right now, the median price for a resale home is $230,000, which is crazy. If you look back in February 2016, it was $183,750, and so you can see constant equity being stacked and being stacked and being stacked. I mean, even in January 18, it was $190, and so we're all the way up to $230 right now. It's $40,000 in equity, which is awesome in that regard. And so, great news overall in that aspect. One thing too, in the supply, this is something that we just hit a new record on as well, which is this is a new drum roll kind of thing where we've been tracking what they call months of supply, which is inventory, since January 2016 when this tool came out, right? And so the lowest it's been before was at 4.9 months. Y'all heard me talk about it a few months. Last month it tied that. Right now it's the lowest it's ever been since it's been tracked at 4.6 months of inventory. So obviously we had a huge month, 16% increase in sales. There's going to be less homes available, right? And so right now it's 4.6 months inventory, 13.2% decrease in the amount of homes for sale last month. So we all know what that does. And the lagging indicator, you're going to see January, February, price. You're going to see that. Why? Because it puts pressure on price. When there's an increased demand and obviously a decrease of supply, you're going to watch that number go up, which we call the lagging indicator. And so, man, this is a new record there overall. Again, like I said, with it being 4.6 months, I've never seen it that low in history of it being tracked. Obviously, I was in the business in 2005 when things were crazy, but they did not have those tools back then to track that real time. So that's something that's interesting to see. If you're thinking about selling, man, just great time to come and hit the beginning of the year. You will see a huge jump of inventory January 1st. It's probably the biggest week for listings in our industry is January 1st, like the Super Bowl, right? Because everyone who had it to the end of the year expires, and everyone that was what we call paralyzed through the holidays, they're always like, we've been, when you follow up as a team, we're on the phones all day, every day, following up everyone. They always say, wait till the first. And so what happens, you're going to see a lot of people jump on the bandwagon, right? And so you may want to get a jump on that, be aware of that. You will probably see that trend up a little bit. But, man, if I'm not super surprised to see that 16% increase in sales, which is awesome. So, again, Price only went up 4%, but again, that's from the previous months of sales, right? And so you're probably going to see a much larger number jump up, which is awesome as well. And so that's super cool news in that regard. Into closed sales for new construction, pretty much flat. It was a 0.8% decrease, which means it's almost identical. 250 new construction sales last month. And that's the one thing, if you look at November, it was 252 last year. So there's only 2 sales difference for new construction. But the one interesting part, price declined down 4.2%. So you may see some of that new construction leveling off. It also has to do with a lot of new construction properties being more inland now. Guess where they're building? Where the land is at, right? Which is obviously more inland. And we know it's kind of crazy though. Growing up here, I don't know if you've experienced this, Dave. Like I grew up here my whole life, born and raised. I tell a story all the time about how, in the wintertime, my dad and I would ride up and down 17 business, and they would flash the what do you call it? The red lights would flash yellow. Man, it was just nuts, right? And now it's like people are still everywhere. And we were driving on bypass this week, and like all the trees are getting taken down, or they have like the tape around them where they're going to take them down. So it's crazy to see the amount of growth we're having here, the amount of people moving here, and so you definitely want to take advantage of that while that's happening now. But it's putting a strain, like you see on inventory. They're building as fast as they can, and guess what? It's still not keeping up with the amount of people that are hearing about it. I was talking about this kind of in a little small forum group I'm in recently, is how I think part of that is that we have the secrets out a little bit. I mean, you can only be in so many national publications, national articles about being the most affordable place, the number one beach destination, all these accolades we've gotten for the past 2 or 3 years. It's been obviously a lot more than usual, which means words gets out, and guess what? More people are moving down here because they're hearing about it. I've seen affordability, right? I mentioned our ideal client. We have dialed in very, 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 very well, right? Is from up north. They're selling for their home up there. They're retiring down here. Cost of living's less. Taxes are less. And I've said this before, even if there is potentially a recession or something next year, we're still pretty insulated because somebody up there just hit the recession is not going to want to pay $10,000 a year in property taxes. They're going to come down here and pay $2,000 to $3,000, maybe really $1,400 to $2,000, depending on their property price. And so we're at a great spot right now, something I haven't seen my entire life growing up here. And so we want to continue riding that. But if you're a home seller, take advantage of that, right? If you're moving down or moving up, there's some great opportunity overall as well. Really quick into condos. Resale condos, closed sales were pretty much flat. So overall with that, it was a 0.8% increase in sales for condos. So you can see obviously homes is what was driven the most. There are 395 condo sales last month alone for resale condos. The great news though, price for condos up 9.6%. So almost double-digit growth there too, which is awesome. Right at 142,500, and that's something that's super cool as well. Inventory down significantly low at 4.8 months inventory right now, and it's down 9.4% from where it was last year. And so coming into these November, December months, it's the lowest I've seen inventory for both condos and homes in a long time, and in homes ever, right? And so if you're thinking about selling, what do you want to do? You want to play the game of supply and demand, right? I always hear all the time, I'm a big nerd for numbers. I'm always looking to say, how do I play the numbers to our advantage and really to our client's advantage? And so when you see a huge decline in inventory and you see sales are up, you want to take advantage of that because, wow, there's less competition out there and you have a high demand for it, right? It's one thing to be out there with less competition when there's no one wanting to buy. It's another thing to be out there with less competition when everyone's wanting to buy, right? You can kind of dictate your terms. Like here's a perfect example. We had someone recently, I don't want a couple rambles here, but I think these are very relevant to what people are thinking right now. We had some people that they want to move away, but they didn't want to go there in the exact winter. So we're able to get it under contract and we can do a lease back, right? So we control the ball as the home seller of negotiating. And so we got the property under contract, got it to be sold, and then got it back for a lease back for 3 months for our client to remain in there to give the flexibility. Why? Because we ultimately control what we negotiate on the listing side if we're selling that property for them. So if you're not sure what you want to do there, you still want to take advantage of it. There's a lot of options that you can do. We're very, very creative, and that's just because we've done thousands and thousands and thousands of home sales. We know what to do and how to give our client the advantage. We sold over a home a day this entire year. We continue to do that, and it's something that's very, very interesting to watch out for sure. Really quick into to mortgage rates. That's one of the things that's been driving this as well. Still remaining below 4%, which is crazy. People, everyone thought it'd be up to 5+% right now, which is awesome. So right now, a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, 3.79%, which is awesome. If you look at last week's show, it was 3.73, but 2 weeks ago, 3.80. So it's been hovering in the 3.7 to 3.8 for the past few weeks, which is awesome. A 15-year fixed rate right now, 3.45%, which is just ridiculously low. A 30-year FHA, this one still kind of has been surprising like crazy. It's at 3.40%, and you can get it with a little bit money down. First-time home buyers, it blows their mind on how low that payment can be, and really own for less than they can rent. So if you have any family members, make sure they know about that. Most people make that mistake of thinking they have to have 20% down, which is not the case. You can get 3% down with FHA right now, and get in very, very, very easily. A jumbo loan, 3.90%, which is awesome, and a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage, they call it an ARM, is 3.46%. So bottom line is, we're coming into these winter months smoking, man. Like this thing, the car is smoking, out the side. It's crazy to see how much is going on. So I'm super excited to see what happens first year. And this is why my team, like I mentioned, is we're redlining. We have everybody still full speed ahead. We're having early office meetings. Everybody's staying late, grinding it because people are still buying right now. While most agents, guess what they've done? Taking the foot off the pedal a month ago, right? Trying to recoup for the January. But what's happening is the movement's happening right now. Buyers that are buying are making decisions who they're working with now. And guess what? Our team is there hustling and pushing to make sure we can serve our clients. So if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, or if you're thinking about selling this next year or downsizing, take advantage of what's happening right now with inventory being the lowest we've ever seen it since it's been tracked since 2016.
All right, sounds good. We've still got some more to go here, and we've got a lot of great information to get to in just a second, including your hot buyers alert, and we've got some great success stories and some other things that we're going to try to fit in before we're done with the show here today. A lot of stuff to get to yet. If you want to get in touch with Blake, you can to find out about everything he's been talking about this morning. The phone number is 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. Go online, and you can also check him out at blakesloan.com. That's blakesloan.com.
Hey, Myrtle Beach, it's Gary LaBox, lead singer of Rascal Flatts. When I'm Moving On won the award for ACM Song of the Year, it's
About 5.5 minutes.
Okay, we'll do this hot buyers and success story. Okay, thank you.
many that happens when it comes time to sell their home. If you're moving on, you want a real estate agent who will make selling your home easy and stress-free. An agent who's willing to let you out of the contract if you're not happy with their service. That's why in Myrtle Beach, I can tell you that Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group markets your home on a whole different level. Now listen, Blake is so confident in his ability to sell your home quickly and for more money that he guarantees to sell it or he'll buy it himself. If you're moving on, trust Blake to provide your family a stress-free home sale experience. Find Blake Sloan online at blakesloan.com, or you can call him at 843-808-SOLD. Start packing.
The Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Time right now for your hot buyers alert. Blake and his team working with just a ridiculous amount of home buyers, and they're looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. Big range, anywhere between $150,000 to $3.5 million. So if you're in that range and thinking of selling, give Blake a call today at 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. Why? Well, because of all the active home buyers that Blake has in his back pocket here that are looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. Might not be in his back pocket, but they're on his website. 55,163 active home buyers right now looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. They're stalking the website to try to be the first whenever a new listing comes up, and they're animals.
Oh man, crazy! You'll see they're searching for hundreds and hundreds of times. These are real people, username, password, account. Like right now, looking at. So these are ones that just registered in the past few minutes, and just kind of give you an example where they're from. Again, we have a global reach here, but we got Alex Garcia from Long Beach, California, which is cool. That's out there. Matthew Wells from Eustis, Florida. Eustis. Never heard. Okay. We got Michael Luznak from Mooresville, North Carolina. We got Jesse from Ackworth, Georgia. We got Cranston, PA on here. Luigi from Conway. Kyle from Myrtle Beach. We got Mario from Panoma. Where's that? California. So long story short, we got a big reach, right? So if you're thinking about selling, we already have buyers in waiting, what we call about our team. The way the business model works gives us a huge advantage. Why? I'm spending money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week driving traffic, and we're going to help serve those buyers anyway, right? We have a great service to help anyone. And so at the same time, we're in business to help up match buyers and sellers. We develop technology that will take any buyer that's searching, reverse engineer each new listing we get to match up the most perfect buyer for them, just like a Facebook ad or something like that. That gives our clients huge advantages. We can match up first day on the market many times, bring a buyer in, sell it even before it hits MLS. And so great opportunity if you're thinking about selling. reach out, give us a call, and just learn about it. When you see it happen live, and you can watch people like Dave's talking about come in and search and where they're from, it's absolutely mind blowing because we outspend the average agent 100 to 1 from a marketing standpoint. There's no possible way that does not give you an advantage as a home seller, period, because it's in the world of business. And so reach out to find out more. How much time we got?
About 3 minutes.
Okay. I want to give awesome success stories just because our team's, like I said, still been kicking butt all the way to the end. And it's something that we're super proud of, obviously, as well. We've seen the same thing a lot lately with people downsizing and moving out of the area for family. And so really quick, 2 cool ones that we got. Krista, her entire family moved out of state for a job opportunity. She was left here in Myrtle Beach kind of with the house. And she's working multiple jobs when she called us, obviously not sure what to do. The reason was she needed top dollar for her to make the numbers work for her to be able to buy, and I think it was actually in Iowa. She heard about Sloan Group and all the success stories on the radio, called us. We came in, helped design a custom marketing plan, launched global marketing blitz, professional photos, drove massive traffic, had under contract only a couple weeks for top dollar, allowing her to easily make that move closer to family, in this case, which is Iowa, which is very rare to get Iowa relocation. But also we got Thayer and Nicole recently made a decision that they were getting older and were tired of upkeeping their current large home. They also thought it'd be a great opportunity to move closer to family and downsize at the same time. Thayer heard about and read all the success stories from Sloan Group, called in. We came in, designed a custom marketing plan, get them top dollar, launched global marketing blitz, drove massive traffic. In a couple weeks, had an offer almost at asking price. Now they can downsize with maximum equity in their pocket. They're going to Asheville, I believe, be close to family. And so we're seeing this a lot, right? They combine the two of downsizing, be close to family. We're very, very good at that just because there's a lot of upkeep, right, sometimes. And so you have a larger home. We're very, very good at matching up buyer and seller. We have what we call move-up buyers, and so we'll match up with them and also move-down buyers. And so no matter what your situation is, we're very, very good at it. And so if you want to know more about that, reach out and call us for sure, 843-808-SOLD.
Got about a minute left plus. I know that you said you're looking for people.
Yes, anybody that's super, focused and driven. Obviously, you can tell I'm driven. I was going to have our guy, Barron, who did 4 closings in one day this week, who's awesome. He's crushing it. I think he's done 18 sold deals since October. And so he's in his 20s, but amazing dude. He knows the market. He knows every house in the market. But long story short, I was going to have him talk about the intensity of kind of how I am and what we do and how we demand excellence. So anyone out there that wants to level up your life and your business, that wants to serve at a very, very high level, reach out and call us. We're ramping up for 2020. We have massive amounts of leads from all over the country, people looking to buy here, and we need A players. My biggest challenge here as a business owner, I get this question all the time, is finding A players. People that want to run very fast and run for a long distance, right? We want to run that marathon as a sprint, and it's very, very fun when you're with a great team of people with high energy who can get the job done. So if you want to know more, know someone in the sales industry that wants to reach out, have them give us a call for sure.
All right, that phone number is, of course, 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. You can also go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. A lot of great information that we had there. If you want to get more information, just use those phone numbers to get in touch with Blake and find out whether you're a home buyer, home seller, or if you're looking to be a part of the Blake Sloan team, you can possibly do that as well. Again, 843-808-SOLD. Blake will do it again next week.
Yes, sir. I'll be here.
Sounds good. It's the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan.
Selling your home doesn't have to be filled with drama or having to pay hidden fees. Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here to tell you, as an active investor, I firmly believe in working with the smartest local agents who sell homes in high volume. Prepare your home to create the most demand when it does go on the market to sell for the highest price. And don't fill your life with drama while you wait for your home to sell. When I want to know what's happening, there's only one agent I call. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group. Now, every single day on average, he sells multiple homes and attracts new homes, which gets you early access to great homes before they can